Welcome back to Storytime Sundays. I'm Marshall, here with Myn. This is it. We're finally going to get our answers. Who are we? Who is her? We've met Sayakujo before, but how? What else have we forgotten? Secrets await us back at the mansion.
Oh man, so many things to go over. We learned quite a lot about ourselves last episode.
And she met us before.
We kind of went from 0 to 100 in what we know. Even though we're still missing a lot, it's tenfold what we knew before.
We knew who cursed us, some her. We've met Sayakujo before. Somehow, and we have her cards. We're somehow overseas and we're able to account for, a lot of things. Prepare ourselves beforehand for this somehow.
Yeah, it seemed we were smart enough to, have a plan beforehand, but because of our memory loss, we seem to have
Struggled a bit.
stumbled over our own hints and suggestions. But I guess we'll find out now. Let's go home.
Nope, the mansion's out of the way.
Banshee clambers into the back seat of the car. His heavy scent fills the enclosed space.
I can finally catch my breath. Now then, driver, take us to the forest by H Castle.
Okay, King.
Why are we going there?
Back to the forest. Of all places. I drive down the familiar road. All lights along the way are strangely green.
Green.
We reach our destination without me having to slow down the car once. The engine chugs along.
Oh, they're talking about the traffic lights. I thought they were talking about the street lights that are just illuminating the road.
Oh, that's what I thought they were talking about.
No, they're talking about the traffic lights. Somehow they're all green. Somehow we're able to get through each intersection without a problem.
I feel the wheels of fate turning like those on the car I'm driving.
10 days ago, I promised, in exchange for you buying me an extra order of almond jelly, if you did forget everything, I'd take you to H Shrine.
I've already been there before.
Yeah.
What could we possibly learn now? Sounds like I prepared for everything.
You even took Mary there.
It's crazy to think all of this was just 10 days.
Yeah.
But if I was that careful, why didn't I leave myself a clue? Why prepare if I was just going to forget? Yeah, why didn't we leave, notes for ourselves or a recording of some sort?
It's very odd.
Did the curse progress faster than expected, so there wasn't time? Or did someone get rid of it? But if I had business at H Shrine, why didn't I go there while I still had my memories?
Something about timing. Waiting for some magic summer cleaning to clear away impurity.
Suddenly, my old self echoes in my head. I speak the words out loud slowly, as realization dawns. The summer purification rites. They're rites held at shrines to exorcise evil. On the last day of June, you pass through woven reeds to cleanse yourself. I was trying to use that ritual to exorcise the impurity.
Ah, gotcha. Luckily, today's the 1st of July, so the rites or whatever are done. Should be no problem now.
Exorcise the impurity, huh? What kind of impurity was I trying to cleanse?
Wasn't it the mark?
That's what I would assume. The more I learn, the less I understand. My previous self is like a complete stranger to me.
I can't imagine going through like absolute amnesia. Like you have no clue who you are or anything. And then like people are talking about like your previous self, like who you were before and how differently you're acting now. And it's like, I don't know. That doesn't exist to me.
Oh man, I just came up with a whole nother theory in my head.
Oh man, save it for the end.
How many times have I come to this forest now? The creepy arch and thick trees look the same as always.
You know where 8th Shrine is, yeah? Lead the way.
You've never been there.
First I heard of it was 10 days ago.
Banshee and I push through the vegetation and make our way down the beast trail. We pass under the stone torii gate. And finally arrive at the desolate 8th Shrine. The few headless Buddha statues that are left shine in the light of a flashlight.
So the statues used in the project were stolen from here?
Yeah, that's right.
Is it really true the statues are connected to the mark somehow?
I have considered the possibility that the mark was caused by their divine wrath. But 10 days ago,
You said what happened 50 years ago wasn't because of the project. It was all because of her.
this course I've been following this whole time. Then, at some point, I had to have been fed some huge lie. But what could it be? A shudder runs through me at the thought. It feels like I'm looking into the depths of hell.
You said 10 days ago that altar holds something important. Something about needing to keep it here to exorcise the impurity.
He approaches the small altar and puts his hand on the sliding door.
It was empty when we visited, though.
Yeah, we already checked it.
Huh? What's going on here? The thing's empty.
Don't ask me. It was already gone when I was here earlier.
Well, that's darn weird. You said there was a cloth pouch.
What was inside?
A small, fist-sized statue. A ninja butsu or something. It was the Goshen tie for the shrine. The Kujo head used it in the shelter to stop the mess 50 years ago.
And again, it's the Kujo family. They must have strong ties to the mark.
Well, this is about all I can do for you. At least it was enough to pay off the dessert. We should head back, son.
He called us son? Who are you, Banshee?
Are you our father?
Right. I'm still unsure about what my old self was thinking, but it's clear whatever plan I had didn't work. Where did the Nenji Butsu go? On the way back, I feel reluctant to go. I keep turning to look towards the shrine. Each time I do, Banshee hurries me on to the forest entrance.
Well, this is where we part ways.
You're not going to ride back with me?
I'm gonna be honest with ya, I got a bit car sick on the way here. Flat roads were fine, but the curves and hills did me in. I just got a nice meal and I hate to throw it up, so I'll walk back.
Hold on, you're just gonna stay here? What the? In the cursed forest, you're just gonna hang out here and walk back. Okay. Please, Banshee. Please be safe.
Yeah, like, that's a little risky.
But it's pretty far from here.
Kids are such wimps these days. When I was young, I used to walk across the Himalayas all the time. This ain't nothing.
His laugh is loud enough for the whole forest to hear. He waves and leaves me alone. Once he's out of sight, I get into the car.
And he was never seen again. Dun dun dun. I'm sure he'll be fine.
I pull out of the deserted parking lot and drive back to the mansion. As I count the streetlights passing by, I go over everything Banshee told me. "50 years ago in the shelter, the cannon soldier went berserk, but it wasn't because of the army's experiments. It was her. The army was unable to stand up to the threat of her and the soldier. But the Kujo family head used the Nenjibutsu to settle everything." What kind of powerful artifact do they have? However, she still exists in this time period.
The Kujo family also gave the Buddha statues to this project. So they kind of started it and then ended it.
What was the reasoning for all of it? She was the one who gave me my mark. Before I lost my memories, I was planning on using the Nenjibutsu like they did before. I left it at each shrine so it could be cleansed of its impurity. But somewhere along the line, it went missing.
In those 10 days, it went missing.
The past me probably couldn't have predicted that would happen. I'm almost back at Kujo Mansion. As my drive comes to an end, I focus on what the most important detail is. That's right. Who is she? I have a hunch about her identity, but I can't be sure yet. And that definitely proves that she was there. 50 years ago, she made the cannon soldier move down in the shelter. The Kujo's family head sealed her. They would have brought her to the mansion. Sacred objects for the project, of which she was one, were returned to the Kujos. I gripped the steering wheel tighter. If there were any way to defeat her, it just has to be in the mansion. I don't have any solid proof, but the fragments of my memories are whispering to me. The entrance doesn't look any different.
Oh no.
My mark burns. The sharp pain nearly brings me to my knees. It seems she has no intention of hiding her presence any longer. in pursuit of the truth.
What? We're just... we have a partner? There are no mark bearers to choose from.
There's no one here to help us.
Then we talk, I guess?
Do we have anything in our bag? Whoa.
Oh, we still have everything from the previous thing.
We have a gun. It's alright.
Bomb pistol it up. I suppose we'll talk then?
Let's look around.
She's back? So, we meet again.
Mary's voice is soft. I know now. Behind those words is hidden an intense lust for blood. You came back to life rather quickly.
You gave me nearly a whole day, more than enough time. I admit that Rabbit's attack surprised me, but unexpected events can themselves be rather enjoyable.
When I had brought Mary to H Shrine, we caught sight of the rabbit there. It might have suspected Mary's true nature.
That rabbit, its great love for you pushed it into recklessness.
What was that rabbit, really?
Determine that for yourself. Who are you? Know that, and the answer will come. Though it is impossible, so long as you bear the mark I gave you.
Mary gave me the mark. I had a hunch, but hearing it from her lips fills me with dread. Just what are you trying to accomplish?
Dragging the living into the depths of despair before killing them. I believe I explained that it is a spirit's utmost desire and joy. And I had your cooperation with achieving that.
Cooperate? That's ridiculous.
Oh? Have you not realized it yet? You did bring those pathetic mark bearers directly to the spirits, did you not? They feared the spirit's existence, trembled in the face of death. I savored the taste of that fear and despair. Most delicious.
You had all of us help out. Just to terrify the mark bearers even more.
Clearly. I could have waited for the curses to complete if I only wanted them dead. That is not the only lie. Mark bearers must stay in small groups. Do not contact outsiders. All my instructions were to drive you into a state of emergency. And not once did you doubt me.
I bet she's telling me all this because she wants me terrified with how hopeless the situation I find myself in is. I'm frozen in place, and I know my face must be pale as death. She must be loving this. Don't tell me you created all those spirits just to accomplish that.
Indeed. When Lady Christie believed divine wrath was the cause of the mark, I had never been more amused. Her foolishness was so delightful. I just had to come along with you.
So you lied.
Of course. How could a pile of broken statues possibly do anything?
I could be imagining it, but I feel like she hesitated for a moment there. "50 years ago, I was sealed away by the head of the Cujo family.
I woke here 5 years ago. At the time, I was still unable to speak and communicate, but it seems my awakening alone caused a number of ripples. Those who died unfortunate deaths on cursed land became monstrous spirits.
The H elementary abuse, the honeybee mass suicide, Seiko's assault and suicide. They all happened 5 years ago.
I finally regained my full power a little over a month ago. Then the Buddha statue connected to me 50 years ago also began moving. The woman killed by the statue was also influenced by my power.
That must be the cannon soldier in Zukawa. Zukawa believed it was the divine oracle from the soldier, when it really had been Mary. She did as the great Asura said, and transformed herself into Miss Zu.
Once my strength returned, I again bestowed my power on spirits. It connects humans to me and manipulates them into a panic. The mark.
I know you've been toying with us. But, well, was there really a need to make us be connected to you in some way?
Of course. By being in direct contact with you, I could taste your fear. Even now, are you scared of me, Lord Yoshiki? Are we scared of her?
I want to say no.
We're not scared of you, no. Very admirable.
She cracked. Her porcelain face cracks.
Ever since you declared that you would fight the mark, I've waited eagerly for this day. Over the past 10 days, I have tasted your fear through the mark. Thick and syrupy, as sweet as honey. Each savored morsel made me want to smash you to pieces. But I waited. And I'm not so foolish as to kill a goose that lays golden eggs. But I cannot take it anymore. Like crushing ripe fruit and sipping its juices. I want to break you down and savor your sweet fear.
The mark is dyed a deep crimson. A few minutes left until death closes in. My thoughts blurred together suddenly. What happens to a mark bearer right before dawn? I've seen it many times. Is that what's happening to me now?
Lord Yoshiki, wait for me. I'll kill.
I can hear Mary stand up over by the sofa. At this rate, the rabbit's fate will be mine too. I have to run away. Check within the red. In my room. Something whispers in my ear. That's right, that voice. But what does my room mean? Focus. Who does that voice belong to? Yasuoka, she said. It was someone who loved me.
Mary said that too. Live or die.
Mary's coming closer. Where should I run? It has to be Saya's room. We don't know anyone else.
Saya loved us?
I sprint at full speed up the stairs and fly into Saya's room.
That was the right choice.
Much like the entrance hall, it's dark. The voice said, "Check within the red in my room. Is something there? But where should I look?" Probably in the very red bloodstain on the floor.
That we haven't yet cleaned up.
Sayakujo's bloodstain is still on the floor. It's obviously dry by this point in time. There might be something lying on top of it. I can't be sure as it's too dark. Nothing was there the last time I was here. Picking it up, I discover that it's a small pouch.
Maybe the bunny took the pouch.
Is that what it was carrying last time? Inside is a hard, thin object. I move over to the moonlight to see it better. It's a small Buddha statue.
This is so creepy. You see the hair around its feet?
Oh, it's so freaky. It's covered in blood and stuff. It can't be. Is this the Nenji Butsu? It seems to be stained with blood, and I get an ominous feel from it. The impurity. It hasn't been exorcised yet.
What are we gonna do?
I instinctively know the instant I see it. My mind is suddenly flooded with all of my memories of the Nenji Butsu, one after another. 50 years ago, the head of the Kujo family used this to steal Mary's power.
It stole her power, not sealed her.
He put the Nenji Butsu inside her to seal her. Then, about a month ago, someone took it out. That person was me.
What? What did we do?
Because of that, Mary regained her powers. The Nenji Butsu in my hand looks exactly as it did back then, full of impurity. Impurity that's been built up from stealing Mary's power for 50 years. To cleanse it, I left the Nenji Butsu at the uncontaminated H Shrine. It would take time to exorcise all of the impurity. It's already July. The summer purification rite is over. So why is it still impure? The object the rabbit had in its mouth. It could have been carrying the pouch then, instead of the master key.
Was it trying to put it back into Mary? Not realizing that it still needed to be cleansed?
Then, the Nenji Butsu was taken away from H Shrine before the beginning of July. Maybe the rabbit saw Mary by the shrine and was scared that she would find it.
So the rabbit took it away.
So it had no choice but to steal it away. The door to the adjacent room opens.
Oh my god.
Mary must be looking for me.
Oh,
But she can sense the presence of mark bearers. What's going on? Wait. Is it possible that Sai's blood is protecting me? bring it to where I met my end. The voice whispers in my ear again.
But this is where she died.
If this isn't where the voice owner died, they must have met their end elsewhere. There's only one other place. While Mary is in the room next door, I sprint down to the entrance hall. I make a beeline to Mary's sofa and the spot where the rabbit died. The voice that spoke to me and helped me every time a spirit was closing in. If Saya was working through anything, it must have been the rabbit. Sensing something, I looked down at my hand.
Oh,
The Nenji Butsu's impurity is gone. Is this what you've been telling me, Saya? I speak to the departed woman who's guided me as I struggled without memories. Put the Nenji Butsu, the source of the doll's curse. Press it to the black mark. Then, the whisper stopped. The floorboards creak ominously. I raise my head to the staircase, rising into the darkness before me. A dark figure stands on the landing.
she is so creepy there. I found you! Oh,
That's the worst we've seen it. The mark scorches me. My head goes blank. Mary is coming closer.
what do we do?
My body won't listen to me.
Oh. Lord Yashiki.
Mary closes her hands around my neck. She's trying to kill me. Huh? I squeeze an Nenjibutsu, and the fog that's impeding my thought lifts. It's still a struggle to think. I should be able to move my arm now. Put the Nenjibutsu on the source of the curse. I only have one chance. Where should I stick the Nenjibutsu?
Where the black mark is, right?
In the illustration, it was on her right arm. I managed to drag my impossibly heavy arm and stick the Nenjibutsu on Mary's right arm. She's hiding it. But I'm sure that's where the black mark was. Marks bloom on Mary, one after another. They're all the color of blood. It's like they're the curses of those she's killed.
Oh my god.
Mary shatters into dust. Did I really do it? I hesitantly look down at my right arm. The mark is gone.
I was about to say, if the mark still wasn't gone after that.
I did it? I finally did it. I have to say it out loud to convince myself. A victory at the expense of Saya's life. I can't claim it's completely over, but there's no harm being relieved for now. The fog clouding my head clears away. My memories slowly return to me. I look around the dimly lit hall again. I know this mansion well. Because I'm... The clock on the second floor begins chiming wildly like it did 10 days ago. When I make my way to it, it stops. Almost as if it has the will of its own. That's right, this grandfather clock. I think a skilled ancestor of the Kujo family crafted it. That one chisel may have been used to make it. That's right, inside this clock, I open the door and stick my hand inside. My fingers brush something hard. Taking it out, I realize it's a voice recorder.
We did leave stuff for ourselves. We just didn't think to investigate the clock further.
I press the play button.
聞こえているだろうか。九条正宗だ。
This on? This is Masamune Kujo. It's a man's voice. A voice I know all too well. It's my voice. I decided to leave this record behind, in case something should happen. That doll may dispose of any files or documents. I'm banking on her overlooking a piece of technology. As I listen, I start to remember recording this. I'd done it right before I received the mark from Mary. Now, where should I begin? It started 5 years ago, 2 years after I became the Kujo family head. My sister Saya and I found the doll in a wood box while sorting the warehouse. The moment I broke the seal and saw her, I could sense something sinister. But it took a while longer to fully understand what she truly is. If only there had been records. But great-grandfather who sealed her didn't leave any before his early death. Because of that, his descendants weren't told about the doll. I managed to learn the doll had been loaned to an army lab during the war. A strange old man who lived in an underground shelter told me. Then, I went overseas to try to get more information on the doll. But I got into an accident while away and was presumed missing. So, Saya became the new family head. I wasn't able to contact her until after she had inherited the title. It wasn't something worth contesting. So I explained everything and had her keep up the facade that I was missing. Public records still stated Masamune Kujo was very much alive, of course. I couldn't have used my passport or license otherwise. I'm off topic. Sorry. I only just returned to the country last week. Other psychics abroad all agreed it would be bad to leave the doll be. An Enjibutsu inside the doll still suppressed its cursed power, but I realized that it was almost at its limit. If I had left it alone, it would crumble. Then, it'd be impossible to suppress the cursed power of the doll. That was the worst case scenario. But what was to be done? The answer I came up with was to remove the Nenjibutsu from the doll temporarily. Its impurity would be cleansed after a month stored in a pure area.
A month is such a long time, though.
A month is when Mary regained her power as well.
Yeah.
And then I'll place it back in the doll. If I succeed, the doll's power will be sealed for a few more decades. But the problem is that 1 month, I have no idea what kind of curse will be released with the dolls unsealed. I'll do what I can to prevent disasters. But my power can't compare to the Nenjibutsu. I can't guarantee anything. There may be victims again, like the tragedy 50 years ago. But this is a necessary evil. It must be done in order to prevent even more people from falling victim. After this, I'll disassemble the doll and remove the Nenjibutsu. I pray everything goes according to plan, and the worst of evils is avoided. I hope this record isn't needed. But if the one listening to this has a loved one who's fallen victim to the curse, then I'm very sorry.
It's so ironic that he was saying to who's ever listening, I'm sorry if you lost someone to this. And it's us. We, the person recording, lost someone.
The recording ends there. Damn it. I clenched my fist so hard, my nails dig into my palms. Yes, the voice on the tape was mine, but I'm furious with it. I don't know that person at all. The mark has claimed so many victims over the past month. I even lost my little sister, Saya. Was she just another inevitable victim that the voice spoke of? It had to be done.
I mean, if the Denjibutsu had broken and just released her,
Mary could have destroyed everything.
Yeah, it had to be done.
she couldn't have been stopped without it. It had to be done. I'm Kazuo Yoshiki, but I'm also Masamune Kujo. I understand why he felt as if he had to do that. It was his fate. The Kujo family are forever linked to that cursed doll.
But where did she come from? We already had the doll before 50 years ago. The family already had it.
2 months have passed. The occasional cool breeze signals that summer is almost over. I've spent my time putting the case of the mark to rest as best as I can. I put Saya to rest by burying the rabbit, and contacted the surviving mark bearers. Putting the Buddha statues in places of honor was also one of those tasks. They weren't connected to the mark after all, but I couldn't just leave them there. Plus, there's no way Chrissy'd keep quiet about the statues. So, with her guidance, and Yasuoka, Diamond, and Banshee's help, I carried the broken statues out of the shelter and returned them to H Shrine. By now, my memory has completely returned. Things didn't quite go as originally planned, but at least the danger has passed. I don't think my decision as Masamune Kujo was wrong, but at times, waves of powerlessness and despondency overwhelmed me. When I think of the victims of the mark, and of Saya in particular, my chest hurts. I want to do something for them as the new head of the Kujo family. About the memories I've regained. I became the Kujo family head 7 years ago. I'll admit, I was a bit of a recluse. I left the public appearances to Saya, preferring to stay out of the spotlight. The only photos of me are from small local newspapers. I uncovered Mary by accident in the family warehouse 5 years ago. It was a discovery that changed my life. I traveled extensively abroad in order to learn more about Mary. In one country, I got into an accident and fell into a coma for half a year.
I can't imagine. I can't imagine finding a weird cursed doll in my family's warehouse, going abroad, and then falling into a coma.
What a traumatic experience. Even worse, that country proceeded to treat me as a unidentified traveler. I don't know if that was merely my terrible luck, or if Mary's curse had something to do with it. When I was finally able to contact home, Saya had already become the new head. The rest was as the tape said. I had no idea Mary's power was far greater than I had imagined. All of my efforts to suppress her power were completely useless. My memories unraveled faster than I thought. How did Mary come to be in the first place?
That's my question. She existed more than 50 years ago.
One theory says a doll maker in the 19th century used magic to create her. Another says the spirit of a young girl who died prematurely took up residence in a doll. In the end, it's still a mystery. No one knows what happened to create a doll like that. We only know that each of Mary's owners died tragic deaths. Shortly after the turn of the 20th century, she came to be owned by the head of the Cujos. He either didn't know of the curse, or simply didn't believe it. Disasters began befalling the family. Mary gained enough power to become sentient and produce spirits. Then, the tragedy in the shelter happened. The seething grudges of the experiment's victims and the Buddha statues, they may have triggered her awakening. Whatever Mary's true identity is, the fact remained, she altered many people's fates. Mine, and the mark bearers included. Speaking of, an update on the surviving mark bearers.
We managed to save them all.
Moe Watanabe became a part-time writer for her favorite magazine, Oop Arts Monthly. She sometimes comes to Kujo Mansion to interview me about spirits and ghosts. Tsukasa Yoshida is studying every day for the middle school exams next year.
He's so little.
He bragged in his letter to me about how well he did in the national mock tests.
Oh my god. What a little brat.
Satoru Mishida became my husband.
We got married.
Satoru Mishida bought me a drink, like he promised. Seems he's thinking about becoming a private detective.
He's good at it, and he can help a lot of people that way that he couldn't before as a police officer.
He actually asked me if I wanted to join him. Was he serious? I don't know for sure.
He was basically proposing to us. We are so thick-headed.
Sho Nagashima is picking fights, riding his bike, and doing whatever he wants, as usual. But recently, out of the blue, I heard he's joined his neighborhood baseball team.
Aw, you got back into baseball.
Christy Arimura has started writing an essay exposing all of her past affairs.
Oh.
She's trying to get back into the industry.
I wish her the best, honestly.
Suzu Morimiya was able to see her father.
Aw.
Lately, she started asking me for advice about how to get her parents to reconcile.
I don't think that's possible, to be honest.
I have no idea if it helped at all, but she says they sometimes have meals together now.
Aw. I hope
Thanks.
things go well for her.
Aita Nakamatsu has gone back to surfing the BBS every day, as usual. But what's new is he's been stopping by the city employment center. I guess he wants to get a steady job and be a role model for Suzu. Best of luck to him. A day doesn't go by that I don't see Hideo Kojima.
Hideo Kojima, what are you doing here? Dressed up as an idol.
A day doesn't go by that I don't see Ai Kashiwagi on TV as part of Love and Hero. She sent a ticket like she promised, but I need to drum up some courage to go to a concert for teens. Alone, at my age. Toboko Yasuoka. Toboko Yasuoka is still working as a fortune teller in Ginza. Apparently she believes I have spiritual powers or something.
It's very clear that we do.
She keeps sending customers with spirit problems to the mansion. I wish she'd stop.
Oh, yes. Okay. I mean, we can help, but bruh.
She's trying to keep us employed, right?
That's true.
Madako Hiro spends her days working as a researcher while also visiting the shelter. Her and Banshee squabble a lot, but I wish she'd stop complaining to me about it.
Their friendship is so, like, weird, but kind of fun.
Shuji Diamond seems to be doing better now, like a weight's been lifted off his chest. He's in the process of convincing officials to publicize the shelter and build a memorial for it.
He's the person we know the least about, and I'm wondering if, like, part of his sickness was not only, like, Mary's curse after, you know, he got cursed, but also just, like, his family's generational curse, because he seems very knowledgeable about the shelter. Like, he didn't say really how he came across it, just said he knew this, so he must have known for a while. And so maybe it weighed on him really heavily to think about all the tragedies that his bloodline did.
Like, knowing his family may have been involved in a dark past, and the fact that the mark can be passed down probably took away at his health.
Yeah.
Banshee Ito has returned to his beloved underground shelter.
You can't keep me away from here!
He stops by the mansion sometimes, filling the place with his scent.
Oh no.
Of course, he comes to beg me for food. He's a homie though, we feed him well.
Give him a shower.
Give him a place to stay, we have like 10 rooms.
I know.
Now then. I finish my break and return to the workbench in the corner of the room. Over the past 2 months, Mary has managed to repair herself.
Fuck.
Her power hasn't completely come back yet, but she's still extremely frightening. The Nenjibutsu alone won't be enough to continue sealing her powers in the years to come.
Oh, I thought it was over because she turned to dust.
I must prepare extra spiritual measures. It's taken a long time to get those ready, but today I've finally finished. Once everything is complete, I replace the Nenjibutsu inside Mary. Finally, it's over. I pick Mary up and put her in her wood box. 5 years. This all started when I opened the lid of this box. Mary stares up at me from the depths of the box. I have no idea if she's aware of what's happening right now. But there's no doubt she'll regain her powers when the Nenjibutsu wears out decades from now. I'm determined to find a way to destroy this cursed doll before that happens. Until that day, you need to stay asleep, Mary.
Deathmark end. We got the good end, guys. We saved everyone.
This song is such a banger. I've loved hearing it throughout the whole series.
I know, it's so good.
Oh man. I feel like, in a way, Mary is kind of immortal at this point.
Yeah. So it said she awakened because of the tragedies 50 years ago, but she's not the cause of the tragedies. She has to be Aizen or Sura. She has to be the one that was talking in the ear of the cannon soldier.
I'm kind of wondering if she preceded so long ago that, like, before even the 19th century, like, she could have been some sort of god or spirit from just ages ago that's been living this whole time.
The theory is like she's some kid that, possessed the doll, but I don't think a child that died, no matter how they died, I don't think a child could become that malicious. And she was pretty malicious at that time. So I don't think it's a child.
Yeah, I think it's truly a demon, honestly. Just something who feeds on the fears of people and hunts them down. Our idea is because Mary's immortal, she must have spent so much of her life just stuck in a box. So finally being able to play with something, tangible, us, as a plaything, probably made her really happy. And she said earlier that being able to toy with us gave her so much joy.
I think she had a lot of attachment to us. I think she, because she didn't care about everyone staying alive. Like, she was like, oh yeah, if I just wanted them dead, I could have just killed them, but their, pain was delicious. But I don't think it was just that. I think she was letting us, save people. Like, she wouldn't have let us save people. I think she would have gone out of her way to either recurse them as soon as they came back to the mansion. Like, she let us get our victories.
Yeah, she let us climb the mountain just so that she can pull us back down.
And I don't think it was all maliciousness, because what Aizen Azura was saying in that cannon soldier's ear 50 years ago was like, everyone's disgusting, I hate them all, but I don't think she actually does. Because if she did, she could not have pretended to be so kind to us. Like, she was even flirting with us when we picked her up. And, like, she was kind to, everyone that came, and she was, like... Mashida, like, specifically, he had a whole conversation with her. Like, I want to go help them. And she's like, no, don't. Okay, fine. I think they're in danger. Like...
Yeah, I think she truly had fun playing along with us, honestly.
And maybe she felt included and, like, saw the better sides of humanity a little.
Yeah, like, our idea is maybe she was so bored that she was like, okay, let's kill people for fun. But playing along with us, she was like, hey, I kind of like being here, I like being outside of the box, not trapped for decades at a time.
All in all, Mary is probably still my favorite character from this game. Like, I remember when we first played, the reveal that it was Mary who was the evil one, I'd called it much earlier in the game, if you remember, right? I was like, what if it's Mary? But I didn't actually believe it. It took me until she was, like, gloating for me to really believe, oh, she actually was, because of how well she lied to us. And I don't think that was completely a lie. I don't think that was at all an act. I think there was some part of her that didn't want to be the evil thing that she became.
Like, because she just wanted to taste the spirit first, she could have easily just killed everyone around us, constantly. But the fact that she even gave us advice on, like, how to defeat her own spirits, it kind of made it feel like she wanted to play with us longer and longer and longer, just so that she could have a friend in a way.
And I think we kind of became that. We also kind of became, like, her caretaker. It's time to sleep now, Mary.
Yeah. It's unfortunate that we lost our sister in the process, but I have to say, we have to be super thankful for Saya. She really carried us through a lot of key moments throughout the game.
I can't believe she possessed a little black bunny and was able to even help us from beyond the grave. Like, most of the other spirits around Mary became malicious, you know? Even if they weren't malicious in the first place. Like in Hanayome's case, in Hanahiko's case, both of them, they weren't aggressive, mean things. They just didn't like certain things, and they were willing to help even. In Hanayome's case specifically, like, her lore had been around for 5 years. She had been helping people. So the fact that Saya was able to kind of avoid that corruption is just a testament to how powerful she might have been, how powerful our family is in general. I don't think the head of the family was stupid in taking in Mary. I think they had been trying to figure out maybe what they could do. Like, it seems like this family is very much a collector of all things spooky, scary skeletons, you know?
Yeah, from my impression, I get that the Cujo family has always been a, like, spiritual household. And they might have been, like, taking in spiritual objects to protect the world from everything evil. But going back to Saya, it kind of shows that all spirits aren't bad, you know?
Yeah.
Like, she was able to help us to prevent people from losing their lives. Hanayome was there to help random strangers seeking advice. The other half of the spirits, though, they were kind of just bad.
Yeah. You do have to have a lot of sympathy for the cannon soldier, though. The fact that all these women were just taken, their heads jabbed with a chisel off, like, it's so dark, and I can't blame them for listening to Aizen Asura in their ear. Miss Zu, although she's just weird.
Yeah, no sympathy for Miss Zu.
She's just fucking weird. I think my favorite ghost has to be either Hanahiko or Hanayome. They're in the top tier for sure.
Actually, one of my favorite ghosts has yet to come.
Oh, really?
Even though we've reached the end of the game, this is not the final chapter.
That's right. The DLC that is now just the 6th chapter.
With that, our chapter with Mary is finally over. But we'll still keep her in our thoughts. In fact, we have to keep her in our basement considering we still have the doll.
Yeah, we have her sealed away, but we're gonna have to prepare our future family to continue taking care of the problem that she is.
Anyway, see what comes in the next chapter.
Thank you for joining us.
And now, a lot of time has passed. The muted chirping of insects gently drift along a breeze that enters the mansion. It's cool enough to sleep through the night again. It's nearly autumn, after all. I stare out the window at the unchanging scenery without really seeing it. Clouds in the distance rumble with thunder. As if on cue, a chill wind brushes up against the window pane.
また雨か。
Rain again, huh? I comment because otherwise, it feels like I'm in a dream. It's as if a stranger is speaking. I stare at the leaden sky. Even though I'm resting in a chair, I feel like I'm somewhere far away. When I shift, I see out of the corner of my eye the stack of books piled on the desk. Some were pretty difficult to get my hands on. But I don't feel like reading them anymore. I could read all of them, and none will give me any type of clue. That's all I've learned after all this time wasted. The longer I try, the further away it gets. That thing sleeping in the wooden box. I head downstairs to make myself some coffee. There's a sudden knock at the door.
Who keeps punching our goddamn door?
What if that's actually our doorbell? Like, our doorbell is just a program to knock?
That's so crazy.
Well, we need something loud to get our attention in this mansion.
That's true.
That hollow sound doesn't bring back good memories.
Is this one of Madame Yasoka's, people she keeps pawning off on us?
It used to signal the arrival of new mark bearers to the mansion. But that's in the past now. I swing the door open. Standing in front of me is...
Konnichiwa. Hiya.
Moe Watanabe.
Is now a good time, mister? Oh, if it isn't, just tell me and I'll leave you alone.
Yeah, it's fine. Moe flashes a carefree smile and steps inside with a pep in her step. Just her presence makes this place feel less gloomy. With a start, I realize that Moe isn't my only visitor.
Who else is there?
お久しぶりです、おじさん。
It's been a while. I'm sorry for coming without contacting you.
He's so proper. Tsugasa? This is rare. Why are you here?
It'd been a while since we'd met up, so we talked about what happened. And obviously, the topic came to you. So I told him that I visit you a lot, and that he should come with me.
Wait.
Sounds like a car alarm. No big deal, right?
I was just getting bored.
I mean, we are so clearly depressed.
Of course I don't mind. I was just getting bored. I've been sitting in my chair all day doing nothing.
Yeah, I figured as much. You seem like the type with time on your hands. Jesus Christ.
Sure. I haven't seen them both together since the mark. Moe's come by sometimes for interviews, and the like for the occult magazine. But this is the first time I've seen Tsukasa Yoshida since then. I wasn't really concerned over him, but I'll admit, I'm relieved to see he's alright.
He's such a non-character in this game, I'm gonna be honest. Like, he's just a stranger to kind of prove that we can take, like, you know, whatever partner with us.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Moe was the most important one from that.
Yeah, there's a couple of side characters that didn't get their limelight, but we kind of needed the others to really take down the spirits in the proper way.
Mm-hmm. I'm glad to see you're well. Have you gotten the chance to relax?
I have. But aren't you busy with entrance exams? Do you have time to waste doing this?
Breaks are important. As an adult, you should understand that.
That's probably really good advice to us.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. I glance over to see Moe staring at me. What is it?
It's just, I'm working hard at my job too. You don't have anything to say?
Oh,
Oh, I know you are. Right?
trust me, I know you are. You've barreled your way in here several times already.
That doesn't sound very encouraging. But no way am I a match for Tsukasa. He works crazy hard. He was first in the recent mock test. That's only natural. After all, I have a goal.
You do? I've never heard him mention it. Or maybe I should say I never expected him to say that he has a goal. You have something you're trying to accomplish.
My parents were lawyers, so I was thinking of entering the judicial profession, but...
Was thinking, huh? Has he changed his mind then?
Wow, that's a cool dream. Jurassics, you like dinosaurs too?
Oh my god, Moe. Tsukasa's glare is full of contempt.
Not Jurassic, judicial, as in working and dealing with the law. God, his face is always the creepiest part. Are you really in high school, Moe?
I've never been a loss of words before.
To be honest, now I'm not sure. If possible, I'd like to ask you for your opinion, mister. Is that alright?
I don't mind, but I'm kind of surprised. Who'd think Tsukasa would ask me for advice?
He could take up the mantle. He could, you know, cleanse Mary in 50 years, maybe.
Oh god, we're gonna leave it to him?
That incident I was wrapped up in started it. Now I know there are so many incomprehensible things in the world. I'm considering going into science in order to elucidate them. But my parents, I feel that it would be difficult to tell them.
Ah, I see. That's what's going on. It's a serious predicament.
So he kind of wants to follow in Hiro's footsteps. You don't seem like someone who has much in the way of work experience. But what do you think I should do?
I think he should tell them now.
Yeah, get them set up for, like, him wanting to be different in the future.
Yeah, it'd be harder to spring on them once you're an adult. It's difficult to say. If he's given the idea serious thought, then it'd be better for him to tell his parents. Parents only want their kids to be happy. They'll support him if that's what he wants. So, that's what I tell him.
I see. I hope my parents think the same way as you. Thank you very much. I feel a bit better now.
I have no idea if my advice was really helpful or not, but Tsukasa bows politely to me.
Great, you good now? Your future is bright, unlike this old guy here, so don't worry so much. This skrunkly old man, he's got nothing in his future. It's complete darkness. But you, bright and shining. That's not true. I'm sure he also has a bright...
They both look at me.
Oh. Nope, can't picture it. But that's what makes him approachable, so he's good to vent to at least. But there are definitely things that only he can do.
Honestly, I can't think of any myself. I can make a good pot of coffee, but that's not really what they're thinking about.
I mean, there's that doll.
Tsukasa falls silent. It seems my expression gave me away.
Have you not made much progress?
nothing I can share at the moment. I've researched everything I can. Mary's true identity is as elusive as smoke. I still haven't managed to find clues. So I'm taking a bit of a break right now. I'm glossing over it. But to be honest, any sort of tension has vanished. My rest hasn't relaxed me. It's more like I'm a balloon that's lost all its air. If I was risking my life and facing death every day, it might be different, but right now, my determination to move forward that I had back then is gone.
That's so... I'm sorry, I had no idea. Then it might be best for you to rest and relax a bit. How about a trip to improve your mood? You might get a good idea.
The last time I went on a trip, I went into a coma.
Yeah, this was a bad idea, honestly.
I'm about to reply to that when... There's another knock at the door.
Who's here? Who could that be? Yes, who is it?
Moe calls out playfully, like she lives here, and skips over to answer the door.
邪魔するぞ。
I'm coming in.
The brusque voice belongs to...
Mr. Dreamboat.
What is this music?
Right? Ooh.
The ex-detective, Satoru Mishida.
おいおい、なんだこのざまは。いつから託児所になったんだ。
Hey, what's all this? When did you start a daycare? Huh? Mr. Mishida? Why are you here? Did you come to see us?
Moe is clearly excited, but Zakasa is collected as he bows politely.
I'm in your debt for your help back then. Still, I'm surprised. I didn't think we'd be able to meet here.
Mishida gives an annoyed shake of his head.
He doesn't like children. I'm the one asking you why you're here. Damn, we're going in circles now. Don't lie, I know you're happy to see us. You're always hiding your feelings. Oh, but what a huge coincidence. We've got everyone from the Hanahiko case back together again. This is totally destiny.
I feel conflicted seeing her innocent smile. If everyone's happy after such a horrifying event, then maybe it'll fade quickly to memory.
Everyone, huh? In that case, one person, no, one being is missing.
As he mutters, he glances at a spot in the room. It would be best to change the subject. So, why are you here?
I have something to ask you first.
He answers me with a question, like usual.
Will you marry me? Yoshiki, you told that fortune teller about my office, didn't you?
Does he mean...
Uh-oh.
Toloko Yasuoka? Yeah, it might have come up while I was talking to her about Mary.
Why'd you have to go and do that? Now I'm drowning under investigation requests. Who says this? I have no clue. I'm gonna assume Moe. Wait, does that mean... Are you a private eye, Mr. Mishida?
Moe butts in, her eyes shining. She's not timid, I'll grant you that.
Wow, I guess you'd be pretty good at that. Oh, if you get an interesting job, bring me along with you.
Even Mishida can only blink at her innocence.
And this is exactly why it's annoying.
Still, when I think about it, Mishida's complaints don't make much sense. How could he be disadvantaged by my sharing his info with Yasuoka, who's incredibly famous? He himself said he was drowning under requests. I only told her about your office. What's wrong with that? Getting job requests is good, isn't it? What detective hates too many requests? Plus, he only just started. Even if he's insanely talented, there's no way he's already overwhelmed.
It depends on what the request is about. The one I just got is the worst.
Did he just hesitate? Mashida.
It's your fault that this happened. So, Yoshiki,
Yeah?
I'm going to have you help me.
Help you? Wait a minute. What are we talking about here?
Can't you guess based on the context? I believe he's telling you he wants your help with a detective job. Wow, I can't really picture him working as a private eye though. Now, if he were to investigate a supernatural phenomenon, that would be Wait, don't tell me. This worst request ever that you got.
We all hold our breath as we stare at Mashida.
Exactly. A spirit might be involved. It's a good opportunity. This is what I heard from that old fortune teller.
Amen. Wakazuki.
Little Red Riding Hood.
No, this is totally for real, I swear. I think I saw something real bad on that Love Hotel street the other day. You heard about the Red Riding Hood girl? That rumor about people disappearing after entering that Love Hotel in K-City? On rainy days, this girl stands by the road like she's trying to get customers. Anyone who goes in the hotel with her ends up missing. And here's the kicker. Eventually they're found, but their heads are so messed up they can't even remember their names. Some end up dying in the hospital, and others jump in front of trains. I totally forgot when I was walking around at night the last time it rained. And there was a girl in a red raincoat there, so I thought I'd chat her up. But when I got close to her... Tell me, are you? She suddenly started whispering to me. I got real creeped out, so I bolted. No, I'm seriously glad she didn't follow me. Thinking back on it, something was odd. It wasn't raining that hard, but she was the only one who was soaked from head to toe. Later, I realized that raincoat was probably soaked with blood. That's all I was told. I'm sorry, but I must say that sounds like a simple ghost story. The rainy shopping district and the red raincoat? Rather suspicious.
Mashida ignores Tsukasa, looking straight at me instead.
It's enough to make me concerned. I'll leave the rest to you, Yoshiki.
You're coming with me.
You're coming with us. I'm bogged down with my other cases. I don't have time to spare. It's your fault that that old lady brought this to me. So you need to take responsibility.
But...
Come on, you can help him out a little. I'll help too. The editorial department might have some info on a case like this. And your investigation needs an assistant, right? Did you learn nothing, Miss Moe? Isn't this what put you in danger last time?
Last time... Those words draw my eyes immediately to a certain spot. She's not here anymore. The same thing won't happen. It can't. But somewhere deep in my heart, I'm anxious.
Don't work yourself up. It's more likely that it's just a lie. A bunch of it sounds like it was made up. That's why it's such a pain to have an absurd request like this brought to me.
Mashida's right. It's highly likely the whole story was made up. If I had to point out anything concerning about it, it's pretty detailed for just a rumor, and it leaves the same kind of impression as rumors of real spirits.
But it's better to be safe than sorry. If it does end up true, then we'll need to act now, yeah?
Okay, I'll do it.
I'd hoped you'd say that! You better get ready.
No, I'm going alone.
What? No way! That's not fair!
I knew she'd complain. But I can't put her in harm's way. Listen, Moe. I need you to search for info. I've got no way to research these rumors, but you have access to a lot more than me. Use your position to gather information.
I really hate sitting out and watching you do everything. But if that's how I can help best, then that's what I'll do. This time. If you find anything out though, tell me, okay?
Alright, I promise.
It's settled.
Mashida takes out a notebook, rips out a page, and hands it to me.
The address of the hotel, Masquerade. It's abandoned now, though. Meet me there at 8, tomorrow night.
8 p.m.? I have to go at a specific time?
The client's at the time. The old lady said she'd call and help, so it's probably a scheduling thing.
I don't have to handle this alone, then. Plus, this is Yasuoka. I'm sure she has some kind of plan in mind.
Well then, I need to get to my other cases.
Mashida turns on his heel and vanishes out the front door.
Doesn't even say goodbye.
But he's just as suddenly back.
He heard me saying that.
What's wrong? Weren't you leaving?
Nothing. Just realized it's a little late for kids to be wandering around outside.
Mashida calls out to the other two.
Hey, you two. I'll drive you back, so hurry up and get in the car. Oh, is that okay? Then I'll take you up on that. I agree. It's pretty late. Sorry to trouble you. Well then, mister, we'll be going.
He's so nice.
And then he's got an ego the size of a mountain.
The rhythmic ticking of the grandfather clock echoes through the hall. How long has it been since those three went home? I sit and mull over what Mashida told me. I have a bad feeling about this. It's perfectly reasonable to believe it's just a rumor. A normal case, even. But the more I think about it, the more I'm doubting it. I avert my eyes from the sofa. I silently ask its absent master a question. But of course, there's no way she'd reply. The next evening, I get ready and leave my room with heavy steps. The clock says it's 6 on the dot. It's still early for the meetup time. I guess unconsciously, I'm a little impatient. I'm already ready. There's no reason to wait here at the mansion. Guess I'll go. I'll just kill time there if I'm early. I'll learn the truth, in and out. It'll be quick. I turned the car key. My mood improved somewhat. Rumors of Red Riding Hood.